What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about the Detroit Lions 2022 NFL season. Now, I know it's been a while since I recorded last. Spent an extra day at my parents' house because class was canceled. My morning classes were canceled Monday. To be honest, I wasn't sure I was going to continue this or not. But then I logged on and I saw that some of my videos actually had views. Some videos, like the Commanders, won multiple views. 4 views. Now, it's not a lot, but, I just needed like a little push, a little something to keep this YouTube channel going, and I got that. So we're going to continue this. We're going to continue throughout the week discussing every NFL team's season, or the ones that I haven't talked about yet. And I'm going to be recording these left and right because I have a busy weekend. I've crammed this all in, so I only have 2 nights to record these remaining, I don't know how long, I think like 16 videos I have to go through. So these could be they're supposed to go in like order of elimination of when the team was eliminated, but they may just upload when they upload. So sorry if, you're seeing a team who didn't even make the postseason getting discussed after one of the Super Bowl teams. So anyways, let's dive into this episode or video, whatever you want to call it. So the Lions season, I feel like so many teams this season, their seasons went how I thought they would, but they had like multiple different seasons in their one season. I mean, my expectations for the Lions were, I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs. I, to be honest, thought they were only going to win 5-6 games, something like that. I mean, I looked at this Lions team and I said, well, Dan Campbell, he may not be a good coach, but he brings the energy. His team fights hard for him. Remember last year when they weren't winning like any games, but they were in every game and their team was fighting hard to win. So I was like, okay, well, they have a competitive coach who brings energy. I was not a fan of Jared Goff coming into the season. I thought he was a backup. My thought on Jared Goff now is I think he's a low-tier starter. I think he can win games with him. I think he can get to the playoffs with him. If you have pieces around him, he can get to the playoffs, but I don't really see, like, Super Bowl. Like, he definitely can't win a Super Bowl. I mean, his best opportunity to win a Super Bowl was with that loaded Rams roster, and he couldn't do it. Only scored 3 points. I know it was against a Belichick defense during the Patriots dynasty, but come on. You got to see something from him. He doesn't have a special arm. He's not a special athlete. He's average at best. But I did think one thing nobody discussed about with the Lions was their offensive line. I think their offensive line, and I thought this coming into the season, was top 5 in the league. They have a great O-line. Penei Sewell from Oregon, who they have at right tackle. And then I know they have another really great, Frank Ragnow. He's a beast up front. So this team is productive offensively. I mean, when you have a great O-line, your offense normally is at least upper half of the NFL. I mean, Goff's got more time to throw. Your run game's better. I mean, you want to know why Jamal Williams had so many rushing touchdowns? It's because of that O-line. DeAndre Swift was getting involved. Excuse me. I always record these videos late at night. But I didn't like the move of TJ Hawkinson at the trade deadline. He's top 5 tight end in the league, in my opinion. So, and he blocks, which a lot of tight ends don't do in today's NFL, like Kelsey, Pitts. But, so I didn't like that move. But, they still have Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Chark, Jamison Williams, I believe, is the receiver who they drafted in the early rounds last year from Alabama. I know he missed time due to injury in the first part of the season, but then he came back and was good. So yeah, and then I thought my expectations for them were sort of like the Jets. I said they were going to be competitive, they were going to score points, but they won't make the playoffs. They almost did. I mean, The only reason Seattle got in over them was because they had a better conference record. I mean, take out conference record, could have made the playoffs. And I know no teams who start 1-6 are making the playoffs. But hey, they caught lightning in a bottle. It's one of the. I've been watching football 10 years, so I've seen 20 conferences. Out of all 20 conferences, it's probably the weakest conference I've ever seen. So, when you start 1-6, you finish 9-8, you have a chance to make the playoffs when you're in a conference that week. So, where do they go from here? Well, I was not a fan of Dan Campbell. I didn't like the hire. I thought he should be a one and done. Or at least I thought that going in to his first year as the head coach. And I said, okay, after his first year, I was like, let's give him at least one more year. And now you've seen a lot of improvement. The team loves him. The players fight for him. I think you got to give Dan Campbell another year. As much as I think Goff's limited, unless you are able to be in a position where you can get a significant upgrade, I think you run it back with Goff again for at least another year. Obviously, the main piece or unit you need to address is the defensive side of the football. Outside of Aiden Hutchinson, the rookie pass rusher, who's a Heisman finalist, and Jeff Okudah, their number one corner, who's injured at times, former top 3 pick, you really don't have any talent on defense. And it showed. At one point during the season, you were ranked 32nd, statistically, dead last in the league in defense. I don't care how good your offense is. We saw how great the Chiefs' offense was back in Mahomes' first year as a starter, and they couldn't get Brady off the field, and that's why they lost in the AFC Championship. So even though the league has pivoted to offense, you still need at least some defense to win. So obviously that's where you address things. I'm sure Dan Campbell, he's a defensive guy, will have his say. But yeah, shockingly, the future looks bright for the Lions. You look at their division, Minnesota, I know they have some talent, but Green Bay, all the quarterback drama, we'll get to that in the next video. Chicago's still a mess, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm not saying they're going to win the division, but if they're able to maintain most of their offensive pieces another year in Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator system, and they're able to build up on their defense just a little bit, this team could totally make the playoffs next year. They totally could, especially if Rodgers goes to the AFC and Jordan Love doesn't work and Kirk Cousins and Fields doesn't get better, or Dak continues to struggle. Washington still doesn't have a quarterback. Daniel Jones regresses or continues to be Daniel Jones. Philly's not as good because they have to pay everyone and some of their star players retire. The South's a mess. Rams, what if they get injured again? Their players are old. Some are injury prone. San Fran doesn't have a quarterback, at least that we know of right now. Geno Smith going to be really that good after there's tape on him? Don't even get me started on Tire Fire Arizona. So, my dad has an old friend who lives in Michigan, big Detroit sports fan, always makes fun of the Lions. We all make fun of the Lions, not just me, my dad, my dad's friend. Everyone makes fun of the Lions. Even Lions fans have to. But for the first time in many years, the future looks bright with this franchise. It appears maybe they have the right coach. At least they know, I think, that they don't have the right quarterback, and they're going to solve that eventually. GM looks good. Ownership's changed a bit up top. So, yeah, future looks bright for this team. And, yeah, I think they're going to have a much better season. They're going to get even better. And, yeah. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. More content throughout the week. Or should I say the next couple days, because I waited so long. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And see ya.